Mastercard, as a big international technology company that's been around for quite some time, we can offer a robust network. We can offer the rails for a payment to go on and the broad expertise around that. We can help fintechs gain scale and grow and get access to new markets and new consumers. But we need fintechs to come in with fantastic new innovations. We want to hear what they have to say. They have cutting edge technology, they have fantastic teams. So if we bring those two together, we can create this symbiotic relationship with which we can together change the ecosystem for payments.
Johanna, it's great seeing you here in Stockholm. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. Let's just get started. But before we do, for those who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, tell us briefly who you are and what you do.
So I work for Mastercard. I'm head of strategy here in the Nordics and Baltics, working with driving digital payments and future payments to our markets.
Okay, so then before we get into the nitty-gritty of the interview, help us understand, what does Mastercard do? We know it's well known worldwide for payments, but what does it specifically do in the Nordics, and what's the strategy, overall strategy for Mastercard's activities in the region?
I think most people know us as a payment card company, but we are way more than that. We are connecting financial institutions with merchants to reach end consumers across the globe 24/7. So we are an acceptance network. And I think in there lies our strategy to leverage that network position to be able to provide the best and most efficient and safe and secure payments to our customers. And if you zoom into the Nordics, and I'm sure you know that these are the most advanced payments market in the world. So not only is it a lot of fun to work in these markets in payments, but it's also a chance for Mastercard to show that we are not only card payments, but we are also here in the Nordics account-to-account payments, open banking and services. So we really want to be able to offer our partners any type of payment need they have.
All right, then we know also that across the region, ESG has become a priority for many companies in the industry. Tell us a little bit about what is Mastercard doing in this space.
Let's take you back like 7 years. When I started the company, I've seen that the company has been on a tremendous journey when it comes to ESG, as have many other companies that we see in the market. But for me, I've seen that ESG solutions, initiatives, strategies for this company is not just a tick in the box on the side. The company really wants this to be integrated into the business model. So when we grow, those efforts will also ultimately grow. And to make it more concrete, so we drive environmental sustainability through our solutions. We drive social sustainability in what we do by bringing more people into the financial and the digital economy. And this is especially close to heart for the Nordic organization, where 5 years ago we saw very clearly that as these markets become more digitized and barely nobody uses cash anymore, there's a significant part of the population that's left outside of that. Take for example the senior part of the population, and the fact that many of them today are afraid or feel unknowledgeable to use digital payment tools or even digital tools in their everyday life. So that's why we started 5 years ago an initiative called Payment Aid, which is an education platform where we meet elderly and other target groups in the society to educate them about digital payments, as well as providing an education platform online. And we do this together with our partners to reach as many as possible to ensure that no user is left behind, basically.
All right, well that's really cool. I hear you say that Mastercard basically connects merchants with consumers, and then we have the ESG aspect. How or what role do fintechs play in the execution of the strategy overall?
Well, I'd say that partnerships in itself is part of Mastercard's DNA, and fintechs play a very big role in that. If we look back in the 70s when Mastercard was founded, the whole business model, the whole foundation of what we do is based on these partnerships, exactly rightly so, creating this network effect. So as payment markets and consumer behavior evolves, so do we and so do our partnerships. So it's only natural that when we have innovative ideas coming from fantastic fintechs out there in the market, we want to bring that into the ecosystem and ensure that that gains scale and grows to be able to ultimately give the best payment experience to our customers.
Right, but Then I understand that it's not just about going out and finding fintechs, but you also sort of accelerate them and incubate them through the Lighthouse program.
Yeah, so the Mastercard Lighthouse program is a platform with which we source the most promising fintechs that's out there, and we bring them on board into the program, and we get them to meet with our extensive network, not just the Mastercard expert network that we have internally, but also the best people out there in the banks, investor society, and other kind of industry experts. And with that, we're hoping to help them test ideas, enable growth, reach new markets, and hopefully in the end reach some kind of idea or opportunity for a partnership. It can be with Mastercard, or it can be any of our partners in the industry. And I think the program has generated more than 300 different partnerships coming out of the program. What I think is especially great is that not only do we have the fintech part of the program, but since a few years back we realized that we're getting so many applicants with great ideas on how to create social impact. So now we have a whole part of the program that we call Massive, which is only for applicants having a social impact tech solution. So in that way, we can be part of creating a better society through any kind of technology solution, not necessarily just have to be with a payment.
Okay, well that's really cool. Now, we know that the payment space is very highly competitive. There's a lot of new companies coming into payments all the time, and we follow that across the Nordics. As you mentioned, this is the most advanced markets in the world when it comes to payments. Of course, there's a lot of interest in the sector. How does Mastercard ensure that you stay at the front of the curve when it comes to innovation, and when you see all the different types of solutions that are being brought into the industry?
We do that by, again, leveraging not only our position in the network to open it up to ensure that solutions can come and enrich the ecosystem through our kind of platforms and robust network, but we also ensure that we are relevant in providing the right technologies for the ever-changing consumer experience when it comes to payments. So as we see a payment moving from, what was many years ago now in cash, transcending all the way into a wholly digitized experience in paying. Maybe you're just tapping your watch on a terminal. We want to be part of making that experience great. So we do that by providing solutions for tokens, tap on phone, contactless payments, and services that goes on top of that to create the best payment experience.
You've talked about engaging with the rest of the ecosystem. We've talked about fintechs, we've talked about ESG, we've talked about the Lighthouse program. Yet we know that in the industry, when you're a well-established player, you have a particular culture that has been developed over the years. And then when you're trying to collaborate with perhaps newer companies, especially startups and fintechs that have a different culture, there's always a little bit of tension just creating those partnerships. I would love to understand what are the main lessons that Mastercard has gained from the many partnerships that you've been developing over the years that perhaps could help other parts of the ecosystem better execute on their partnerships?
I think it's about finding the perfect symbiotic relationship. So knowing what is it that we can offer and what is it that we are seeking from the fintechs, and of course the other way around. Mastercard, as a big international technology company that's been around for quite some time, we can offer a robust network. We can offer the rails for a payment to go on and the broad expertise around that. We can help fintechs gain scale and grow and get access to new markets and new consumers. But we need fintechs to come in with fantastic new innovations. We want to hear what they have to say. They have cutting edge technology, they have fantastic teams. So if we bring those two together, we can create this symbiotic relationship with which we can together change the ecosystem for payments. Because if you think about it, the need from the market will not change. If you take a Fortune 500 company or a small SME in a small city serving coffee, there's ultimately going to be some kind of payment or transaction within that business. So as long as there's a need for having that payment experience being the best, there's a need for us in the whole payment industry, including the fintechs, to offer that.
Okay, so you mentioned great teams, technology. Is there anything else that Mastercard is particularly looking out for when it comes to what you look for in fintech to say, okay, this could be a great partner opportunity?
I think it's very much about creating the payment experience as efficient and easy as possible. Payments should be easy and they should be safe. Mm-hmm. So we are always looking from a value chain lens to ensure that all steps in the payment experience is met. Sometimes it can be met by us, sometimes by a fantastic new idea from a fintech. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, as part of our social impact tech focus, it's about thinking about how can we create a payment experience that's also sustainable or promotes a sustainable way of consuming or living. Mm-hmm. That is ultimately going to be more important going forward as well.
Okay, so if we look towards the future, is there anything within the development roadmap of Mastercard that you're particularly excited about?
We are very excited and positive about the future of payments in the Nordics, and this is where it will be continuing to happen. We will continue to source the best innovations that are out there and to partner with these ideas, and we will continue providing a robust and safe infrastructure for payments. But personally, I'm super excited to continue seeing how we can drive out solutions in the market that promotes sustainable and inclusive ways of paying and consuming.
Okay, Johanna, and just lastly, we have Nordic Fintech Week coming up in just a couple of months, probably less than that. Mm-hmm. You're going to be there. Can you give us a sneak peek of what we can expect to hear from Mastercard at the event, and also what you're looking forward most to being there in Copenhagen?
Sure. At the FinTech Week, I'll be sharing even more about what we in Mastercard are doing within the ESG space in the Nordics. And this is a topic very close to my heart, so I'm super excited to be there and share more. But I'm also very excited to meet everybody there. We will be a big team coming, representing different parts of the organization, so we're keen to be out there meeting with fintechs, hearing what everybody else has to share and what's going on. So I can't wait.
I know, and the barbecue that Mastercard provides for the event is becoming now like a landmark event, so we're very much looking forward to that as well.
Good, me too. That sounds great.
Well, Johanna, see you there, and thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Great being here and great seeing you again.
Likewise.